All right. Hello everyone. This is Lemon with Tangerine, aka V. We'll would like to start with a quick disclaimer that everything we say on this podcast, all things we talk about, are really just rants and are strictly our opinions. A lot of the time, we're just bullshitting, and we don't take anything we say too seriously, please. And it's not advice. It's not truth. It's not facts. So do let us know if you disagree with anything. But generally speaking, it's just our opinion. So please don't get any offended or anything like that. We're just talking about it for the fun of it. So,
Hmm.
Tangerine,
Yes,
what you been up to?
I just finished the series. What was it? Why Women Kill, and
Uh,
it was a TV
so
show, I guess.
okay, eight
Mm,
as in like how much out of 10?
Give it like a 6 out of 10. So yeah, the kind of TV series you can just like turn your brain cells off and just enjoy the drama, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. That's kind of fucking low. Looks like you've been just wasting your time.
No, I mean like it was entertaining. Like, was it like a good show that oh my god, you need to watch it? No, not really. Like you can if you
Fair enough.
want to. It's
No,
just
I
not.
think I think I see what you mean. A lot of the time,
Yeah,
like you said, just turn your brains off. It doesn't even matter if it's quality TV or not.
yeah,
You're just
exactly.
there for the fun of it.
Yeah. Bullet Train though, 10 on
Bullet
10.
Train, great movie. Anybody hasn't watched it, go watch that. Uh, Pretty funny, really good movie. I mean, honestly, for the standards of today's movies, seeing as there are no movies that you know
But
do it right,
I
this
mean,
one is pretty good.
there's a Netflix movie, right?
I think it's on Prime.
Right? Oh, that was
Yeah,
a Netflix.
yeah, I watched it on
Mm,
Prime, so probably not Netflix. Plus, who's gonna be using Netflix now after their changes?
mm, mm. I was about to say, if it was Netflix, I would be pretty surprised that it did a good movie for once.
Yeah, I mean, they sometimes they have good originals, like extremely rarely. Like, what is it called again? Arcane that you watched? That was pretty good, no?
Fair enough. But yes, back to the was it the series Why Women Kill?
Yeah, what about it?
Do I need to make like a brief summary or?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Go for it. Just spoiler alert if you're gonna do any spoilers, obviously.
Yeah, fair enough. The long story short, three couple in three different generation. All they have in common is that they live in the same mansion, and you follow basically the story of these three women, and they're out for murder. That's the whole point of the show because their husband either cheated or like the third couple, which took place in 2019. What was it? Yeah, couple of a lawyer and a
Mm.
screenwriter who has an open marriage. And honestly, my least favorite couple. Didn't like it. The story was
Subpar.
it was just not good. I did not like the character. The husband is a fucking failure.
He's a Jerry. That's what he is.
Then
Anybody
I
watch Rick and Morty? He's a fucking Jerry.
he's a Jerry. It's just uh, I just don't like. I don't know how to fucking explain his character. It's just
He's just he's the pinnacle of. Uh, okay, what the fuck was his career again? Writer.
yeah, right. He write like scripts for like movie and stuff.
Yeah, disgusting.
And his wife, which is a lawyer, and his wife is bisexual, and I guess during uh what was it? Yeah, the husband wanted to be like monogamous, but then I guess I don't really remember why they decided to open the marriage. I think they hit like a rough patch or something like that. And the wife wanted to explore her like the bisexual like side. So they decided to open their relationship, and the story for this couple starts with the wife hooking up with a woman she met at a club, I think. And
Hmm.
the woman she met at the club has a crazy stalker that keeps following her. So the wife decided to help her hook up. But by doing so, well, yeah, she basically, how do you say it, cross boundaries? Well, she
Yeah,
basically
didn't you
just
say they had like
threw,
two rules for the open relationship?
yeah, which she completely just threw it out of the fucking window.
She
What was it?
trampled on the rules like Aaron
Yeah,
trampled on humanity.
yeah. The first rule was we do not bring hookups to our house. And the second rule is to not get attached. Which she did both. But then the husband, upon seeing the hookup girl, he's like, "Oh wow, she's so pretty. You know what? Fuck the rules that we made. Let's just invite her to our home
Fucking
and
monkey
come."
brain just takes
That
over.
ass, his monkey brain was just talking. Fucking, oh my god. So yeah, they invite her to their home, and obviously jealousy, a lot of jealousy, a lot of lying also.
Mhm. You know what? Just a spoiler alert. Anybody who hasn't watched this, just get out of here, or just listen through the rest of it because I want you to
Mhm.
tell the part that makes you hate the guy so much. That thing was just so funny to me. It was just.
Oh my god. Oh, thinking about it fucking pissed me off so much. Oh, okay, so it's the wife hookup, right? It's a wife hookup. Like he's not even in the picture. But anyways, like one day he goes out, he's talking to his manager, and he's basically saying to his manager, like, "Oh yeah, like my wife brought her hookup at our house, and now the hookup is like, sleeping at our house." And the manager is like, "Oh, why don't you initiate a threesome?" And the guy
I don't
have been
even know.
thinking.
First of all, let me just say, I don't even know why the fuck the guy didn't think of this by himself. Like, if I was in his situation, first of all, I wouldn't even be in an open relationship. Just putting that out there. But if ever I was in his shoes, threesome is gonna be the first thing that pops in my head by the time she walks in. Like, I'm not even gonna fucking second guess that shit.
I mean, like, I guess it's kind of like, like boundaries, right? Like, oh, this is
Like,
like my wife hookup, I should not interfere. It's like their thing.
no, no, no. She's not your wife. It's an open relationship to begin with.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. But yeah, anyways,
Exactly.
so he
Yeah,
has
we're
this
gonna
like,
complain about open relationships later. Go ahead.
yes, after this. But yeah, so like the manager basically like, planted this idea in his head, right? And he keeps like thinking about it. So then he comes home at night, and then he was like, "Oh, how about we go to like the jacuzzi? Like you two girls can go first." So they're like, "Okay, yeah, sure. It sounds like a fun idea." The girls go first. They're like having fun in the jacuzzi, and then this motherfucker just comes naked, no boxer, no like swimsuit, and he just sits there with them naked, and the wife is just, what are you doing? Like, I know you have like swim trunks. You have multiple of them. Like, what the fuck are you doing naked? I didn't the guy try to like play it off. I was like, oh, like what do you mean? Like oh my god, I fucking hate this character so much. Like he
Yeah,
didn't
all
even
he had to do is be like, "Hey, you down for a threesome?" That's it. All he had to
no,
do.
exactly. Oh my god, I don't understand why he could just ask.
No, he
No, he
wanted to
had
make an
to.
intro. He wanted to be flashy.
No, like oh my god, like it's just it's just so. awkward and creepy. And now the two, like the wife and like the girl, just looks at him, and he just like try to like play it off, but he's not that guy. He
You're not
is.
that guy, pal.
I'm sorry, he is not attractive. It looks like he haven't been taking care of himself at all.
Mm, Again, and Jerry is
Jerry, exactly.
just genuinely the biggest possible failure in humanity.
Oh my god. And
Like,
then obviously the wife got mad, right? And then the wife's like, "Oh, you to the kitchen." And they were talking about it, and then the guy's like, "Oh, I've been thinking, how about like we have a threesome, something like that." And then the guy was like, the wife was like hesitant. She was like, "No, I don't want this. It's weird, It's like the hookup girl name is Jade. She's like, "Oh, Jade is our guest. We shouldn't be doing this."
bitch, that's like the shittiest excuse. Oh, she's our guest.
I mean, like the wife is pretty jealous, and actually extremely jealous actually in the show. So, anyways,
Yeah, pretty sad. Let's be honest. Cause jealous for what? That like worthless skeleton of a man. They're not even a man, honestly. They're not even worth that.
so yeah. So she's like, and the guy kept like insisting. So the wife's like, "Oh, you know what? Fine, ask her. If she say yes, then yeah, like we're gonna have a threesome." And the girl Jade was like eavesdropping, so she heard it, and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I want a threesome." So then they went to the shower. They
Can't
did their
believe it's
thing.
guys like this that get that. No, sure they bullshit. Like, what is this?
They went upstairs. They did their thing, and the guy is like finished. He's done. Now
Oh,
all
this is
three
my
are
favorite
laying.
part.
Yeah. So
It
all
just
three.
like it puts so much emphasis on how big of a fucking loser he is.
So now he's like done. Like he did his part, I guess. And he was like in the middle of the two girls. But then Jay decided to like walk up to be beside his wife. And now the two of them are making out. And now he's just like awkwardly there by the
Standing in the corner, like
no,
rolling his thumbs.
no, oh my god, it was so awkward. I couldn't. He was just there. He was just looking at them. And then like he tried to like jump in. Like he tried to like
Fucking like
yeah,
Palpatine.
exactly. He tries to he tries to like touch his wife, try to like kind of like
Oh
like
my
be
god.
involved.
I swear to God, like the way you said that just gave me the creeps.
No, I'm honestly, I'm just, oh my god, I hated that scene. It makes my skin crawl. I just did not like it. And then he's just so awkward. It's like, oh, like, do you guys need help? No, okay. Like, do you guys need a few minutes?
Fucking
Okay.
answers himself. I feel like that's the worst thing. Asks a question and then answers himself. Like, okay, I'm gonna go make some pie now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then after that, it's like, oh, okay, I will let you guys to it. Then I will go, like, cut us some pie.
Cut us some pie. Oh my god.
So okay, so
The
then he
degree
goes
of
down.
cringe is
He goes down. Yeah, he goes down to the
uncanny.
kitchen. He cuts the pie. He puts he sets up the plate. He puts it on the table,
But
and
I
then
don't know.
he
Like, I
just
feel like the camera work was so beautifully done to deliver how much of an absolute dipshit loser this guy is. He just like
honestly,
prepares it so neatly, like as if they all wanted
yeah,
the
with like
pie,
the
as if
whipped
everyone agreed
cream.
to eat pie. He's just preparing three separate plates as if they're a goddamn family.
Yeah, and then he sets it up, and then he just waits for them. He waits for them for like 30 minutes, and the whipped cream is goddamn like melting. That means he's been waiting for fucking ages. He's like,
Yeah,
and then
they
he's
were
like,
not
oh
coming down. They probably didn't even realize he walked away. That's how
no,
bad that was.
honestly. And he's like, oh, you know what? Fine, I will go check on them. And he goes upstairs, and then he see his wife just like kind of like cuddling with like Jade, and like the way his wife looks at Jade, I guess It's like filled with love, and and he gets jealous. So then the next day,
I'm sorry. Like this whole this entire like scenario is just so outrageous. It's pretty funny.
yeah. So then the next day he confronts his wife, and he's like, "Oh, do you love her?" And then his wife's like, "No, no, no, I don't." And then he was like, "Oh, I saw the way you look at her yesterday. It's been years since you looked at me that way."
I mean,
And then
okay, and
obviously the
okay. Let's be
wife,
honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. Why the fuck would you look at him like that? Like,
okay,
just to put it back in context, this wife, like the wife, is a lawyer, right? She's doing rather well for herself, and this guy is a writer who can't get a job for the life of him. Which is
honestly, for the
like,
wife though, I'm with her though. Okay, spoiler, like ahead. The guy was a fucking drug addict. Like the only way for him to write a good script was if he had cocaine.
I fucking knew it.
or
Gotta
like
be on fucking
any
acid to write a
or
good
like
story.
any like the hardcore drugs, he needs that, and he only had like one good hit of a movie, and the only reason why he had a good hit was because he was a fucking like drug addict, and she spent 2 years trying to get the guy into rehab, and she also like paid all his debt
I
because
feel
he
like I can
spent
be a
like
pretty
all his
creative
money.
writer. I wonder how good I'd be on cocaine.
Yeah, just gonna be like the goddamn movie was a cocaine bear. I feel like you write something like that if you are
I'm pretty sure the person who wrote that was on cocaine. I mean, probably still is, if not overdosed on cocaine.
But yeah,
Like fucking
mm,
designs a machine, but is on cocaine. The design is just that much better. I really want to see if cocaine actually enhances people's ability to design or be creative. I feel
was
like
a
that
fucking
would
like
be
Lucy.
absolutely hilarious. No, exactly. You got
I
so
guess.
much cocaine up your nose. You actually become superhuman. You get telekinesis and shit. No.
Yes, you're finally using 100% of your brain. But
Also,
yeah,
anybody who doesn't know this, probably okay. You know how we said this is all our opinions. Sometimes we have scientific facts to share. Again, you can double check just to make sure. I'm not capping. I'm not saying random bullshit. But using 10% of your brain, complete bullshit. It's not how it actually works. It's just if I'm not mistaken, it was 10% of your neurons are, you know, simulated at like at the same time whenever you're doing something conscious or stuff like that. But you always use 100% of your brain anyway. So a complete cap.
yeah.
It's not like you can unlock the 900% that you haven't unlocked before. So yeah,
It's
anybody who
just
didn't know
that,
that before, just don't fall for the stupid traps
yeah,
of unlock more of your brain's power.
yeah. It's just that you're not using all of the parts of your brain at the same time, obviously. But you do use them. You use all part of your brain. Like, why wouldn't you use all
No,
part
and
of your
I'm
brain?
pretty
Like,
sure like the people like, oh, you can only use the 10%, but if you were able to unlock more, if only
okay, okay. I'm sorry. That's fucking retarded. Like, what's the point of having this whole fucking organ just to use
10%.
10% of it?
This is just a fraction of my power.
Oh, God, it's so goddamn. Anyways, I
Honestly, I wish
digress.
that was the case. Maybe we can find a way to make retards unretarded or something. Just- um, shit, we should have probably made a podcast about offensive words. Um, before this. Um, mentally incapacitated. What is a good word to replace retard
No, you fucked yourself.
with?
I cannot say to you.
Well, too bad. But you get my point. Point. Okay, but this podcast we're gonna say whatever. Just understand. We're gonna make another podcast explaining like um offensive words and shit like that. Hopefully, people don't get offended at what we say. It's just a way of communicating and having fun. So if you're offended, I apologize. but get the fuck out of here. This is no place for the weak-minded. And yeah, you were saying.
But yeah, that's basically like the couple, the third couple in that movie. Even even the wife, honestly, I did not like her. Like,
I mean, what is there to like about any characters in movies these days? Nothing.
no, I mean, like, some of them, some of them you can tolerate, right? But this one I just couldn't. And this one, okay, she's a lawyer, right? And like how they met is because she was protesting for like a feminist march. And I get it, right? Feminism, good. But like, I feel like nowadays the
The definition
screenwriter
of
and the like,
feminism.
no, it's not that. It's like the screenwriter or like the director do not know how to do it properly. They just makes it cringe or like they do too much.
I see. These are
It's
probably
like
like directors or writers that graduated during COVID.
no, it's like the thing with oh my god, it's like the thing with fucking Endgame. The in Infinity War, they did it well. It was like you had like Black Widow, and then there's Wanda coming in. Like if the flow was well done, but then they tried to do it again in Endgame, and it's just I don't know.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You mean like the scene of all women
Yeah,
superheroes?
exactly.
Yeah, they
I mean,
kind of
like
try to force it. Like sometimes
yeah,
they don't
exactly
really
what I
do it.
mean.
Yeah, so like they just like you said in Infinity War, it was really simple. The story is linear, and they just end up meeting at some point, and it continues from there, which makes sense. Like in Endgame, they had this specific scene where there was a shit ton of guys around them, but somehow, some way, it was only the women attacking this one. Like in this one scene, it was just only the women attacking the enemies in that like circle, like as if the entire female force just decided to gather in that one circle out of
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
nowhere, even though they were scattered, which made no linear sense. I mean, sure, I get that they wanted to show off their female heroes all at once being badass and shit, but I don't know, find a way to make it flow together and make sense. It doesn't make sense for them to just all converge in one spot for no good fucking reason.
Exactly. So like the same
Yeah.
thing with that movie, right? Like the couple just got into the house, and the wife wanted to talk to the guy that was renovating their house, and she basically told him like, "Oh, I've seen that that you put the window to the side instead of the back, and I specifically asked you to put the windows at the back and not the sides." And then the constructor was kind of like mansplaining her. Like he just said something like,
Mansplaining
"Oh,
me?
yeah, mansplaining."
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said mainsplaining.
Oh, I said main. My bad.
No worries, you're tired.
Mansplaining. Yeah,
Mansplaining to you.
yeah. Oh, to
Fucking
believe a man just explained to me, just corrected me.
unbelievable. How dare I?
Disgusting. But yeah. So like the constructor was basically like, "Oh, it's a construction thing. You wouldn't understand." So then she took it personal, and she was like, "Oh, I might not know how construction work, but I know how contract works." And she said, and in the contract, it specifically said, if I'm not satisfied, I'm not paying you. So technically, I have a bigger dick than you.
Ah, yes, the
Oh my god.
linearity, the like the
Oh,
such beautiful logic. It's so linear. It's so correlated. It's it's so perfectly logical to say those two sentences in a row because they absolutely make sense together. Like no
like
matter how you look from it, they all lead to the two same sentences being said in succession. It's beautiful. It's mind blowing writing. It's great writing. It's amazing writing.
I saw that scene. I had to pause, and I was in disbelief. I I couldn't
I had
believe.
to pause.
I I dead ass. I paused the episode. I'm like, no. Oh my god, I couldn't believe who wrote this? How did the director accepted
A
this?
fucking
It was
14-year-old.
so it was so shit. And oh my god, she thought she was so badass. And the husband behind her, he was like, oh, that's my wife. Oh, she's
Fucking
so cool.
Roblox noise.
Yeah. My god, oh my god, it pains me that people actually think feminism is like this. Oh, I swear to God, it's probably a fucking dude that wrote this, isn't it? I swear to God.
No, I mean, like, okay, let's be honest. Feminism got derailed so fucking hard. It was a train on a track, but somehow, some way, that track got fucking blown the fuck out of where it was supposed to go, and it just
Oh,
went in a
honestly,
completely opposite direction.
well, I feel like the director just went on, I don't know, on Twitter, or like, or view like the new like era, I guess, of feminism. He's like, oh yeah, that's it. That's the
Oh
one.
yeah,
I'm
probably
gonna
see
add
some
this to my
fucking
movie.
random dumbass on Twitter just trending as a fucking roast. It's just like,
Yeah,
therefore I
exactly.
have a bigger dick than you, even though the sentencing made no sense. It's like, oh my god, yeah, that we want that. We need that.
Oh yes, yes. Picking at other men's insecurity. That's feminism.
No,
Oh
it's not
my
even
god.
picking at the insecurity. It's plain dumb. It makes no sense. It does nothing to the guy. Oh, okay, but you don't actually have a bigger dick than I do. Like, you're just saying that for no good reason. It makes no sense. I don't even think it's
Oh,
related to feminism. I feel like it's just plainly shit humor. It's just genuinely crap humor.
no, I think they actually tried, honestly.
Well, I mean, hey,
Because
you're the one who actually took the time to watch the show. I have no clue. But yeah, I mean, if you're saying they tried to do that, then they probably did.
no, honestly, I think they did because like throughout the whole series,
Mhm.
uh, I guess there was like some good part, right? But it wasn't like funny. It wasn't like comedic. I think that one they actually tried to make her like then like oh, I'm an independent woman, like I don't need my husband to like
I mean, she definitely does not need that guy
yeah,
as a husband.
honestly.
He's fucking useless. He's like fucking like I'd rather have a cloth that I can wipe my ass with multiple times than that. He's just that fucking useless. Like if I had like a large cloth that you don't like, if even if I couldn't wash it and had to wipe my ass with different spots of it every single time, but I still had that cloth, it would probably be more useful than that guy. It's just
Uh,
so fucking dumb. He's just like his existence is meaningless. Like
just like
like
Jerry
if
existence.
no, seriously, like you do nothing, you are nothing. Like oh my god. And like the worst part is they think they deserve the attention. They think that they deserve the like the appreciation, even though they bring nothing to the table. They have literally mind like they have a negative value. They don't have zero value. They literally reduce the value. Like if you had a group of people and each of them brought a value to your group to add to it, like this one has this, can do that, can do this, you bring value to something, they would literally reduce value by simply existing in your group. That's the kind of fucking person this man is. And I
No,
absolutely
he's
despise
just
people like that. Like, why do you even exist? Like, die. Okay, I'm probably YouTube's gonna fuck us on that one. Don't die. Yeah,
again.
like we're not encouraging suicide. Disclaimer: no encouraging for suicide. We're just fucking around, just to make sure that that's out there.
He's
But if
he's
you
just
are
being
that
a
big a
Jerry.
loser, probably please fix it.
No, he's just literally a Jerry.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Jerry is that guy. Like he's that guy, but like in the negative, like on the minus domain. You know how I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I bring a lot of value. They just remove a lot of fucking value.
But yes, the point is the reason why we want to talk about this couple to bring the topic open relationship.
Oh my god, we drifted so far away just because of that one dude.
Because I hate that dude. It's just a bad character. No,
He
the
is.
couple, just that story. It's just a bad story. I just did not like it.
I watched like one clip of that dude and I hated his guts. Like, okay, the actor did a great job at delivering how stupid the guy is as a character. We'll just put it
Exactly.
that way. Yeah,
So
like
yes.
props to the actor. Great job making yourself look like an absolute loser. Alright. So yes, open relationships. What do you think?
Not my cup of tea. I do not
Why not?
like it. I'm a really jealous person. And for the people that say, "Oh yeah, you're jealous because you're insecure." No, I'm not.
I'm jealous because I'm extremely insecure.
Exactly. Get your
Like I,
facts
I don't have
straight.
just regular insecurities like other people. I am in fact so insecure I would die if you breathe on me.
But yes, I always hated that argument. Like, oh, oh, just because you're insecure, that's why. Like, you don't want to open up your relationship. No, not because of that. It's just I do not like the idea of. I do not understand the point of relationship. Okay, first of all, the one of the reason why they usually people want to open up their relationship is to explore. That's like their main reason, or like they got bored.
It's a shit reason.
Is exactly what I'm thinking. Is a shit reason. I don't do not understand why you cannot explore
With your partner.
other like exactly. Why can you not explore other like I don't know kinks, other like adventures,
Okay,
whatever with your
can
partner?
we just like drift for a second when it comes to like experimenting and shit? I feel like people these days watch too much porn and have completely unrealistic or blown up expectations of what their like sexual life should be, and it's just it's unhealthy. It's ridiculous because like half the shit you see is just first of all not possible to replicate, is downright unpleasurable. Like serial porn. Yeah, y'all ever watched serial porn? I'm sorry. Like, that shit is by far the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I like so like
Is wait, what did you say? Why are we exploring? Well, I mean,
yeah,
oh
like
no,
I
you
said,
said
like a
porn
lot of the
because of porn.
reasons that
Okay.
I think people want to explore, quote unquote, is because they have like blown up proportions of what they expect from their sexual life. They just have like these weird kinks developing because they just watch random shit and they think it turns them on. But then, like we had so many stories from like all around the internet of people trying out stuff that they watched too much porn of, and then they suddenly realize, oh shit, I fucked up my entire relationship because I wanted to try this. And a lot of these have to do with either open relationships, or like just cucking in general, which is just mind-boggling to me. Like, why would? Well, we're not
I,
even gonna dive into cucking. That shit just infuriates me.
well, I feel like it's not because. Well, I feel like yes, I guess porn do play like a role in it, but I feel like it's more because people are more open about this stuff, and also like I don't know this new like recently. I feel like since COVID, with the whole like OnlyFans thing, I feel like we are just more open. I guess when it comes to sex, I guess.
Not a good thing.
But
Not
like,
like admittedly not a good thing in my opinion. I feel like society
eh,
is blowing this up out of proportion as well. Like, it's supposed to be something private. It's supposed to be something like you know within your own personal privacy, humility, within your personal group. Very like I'm not gonna go to the extent. Oh, it's a sacred act. We're fucking animals, but
again, yeah, exactly.
but there's still a degree of privacy that should be paid respect to because it has importance like the privacy part of it has importance. We're not fucking animals. Like we are technically animals, but we're not fucking animals. Like there's like a clear distinction when you add the
Well, I
word
mean,
fucking. You know,
I hope you don't fuck animals.
no,
But that's
that's not
different.
what I mean. Like, no, thank you. I'm just saying, like we are animals in terms of like biology. We're technically animals, right? We're like a Homo sapiens descendants from
Yeah.
like we have technically all common
Mhm.
ancestor at some point. But the point I'm getting at is, sure, we are animals in that regard, but we're not fucking animals. Like we're not savages. We're not brainless idiots. We have to consider like the impacts that these have on our personal, emotional, mental health, social life. All those things are impacted greatly by choosing to make such supposedly private stuff public or making it so open. That's why you find a lot of like that's why I personally think these days a lot of people just too open. It's just uncomfortable at times to listen to people talk about that.
No, honestly, yeah. It's like the whole trend also on TikTok during summer, like what, last year, 2 years ago. The was it the
Hmm.
what's it what do they call it? The hot girl?
What is
Like
that?
my hot girl summer era, summer girl, I don't remember. It's basically
Oh, you
just
mean like the people who are like, oh, like my bad bitch phase or some shit?
yeah, no, yeah. I think it's called hot girl, like summer, something like that. Like there was summer girl hot. Like
Nice. Like just
like
mix those three words up, you'll find the
yeah,
fucking trend
exactly.
she's
It was
talking
something
about.
like that. Yeah, it's basically like, oh, now it's summer, right? And um, like fuck committing, we just go into like our whole face basically, because it's summer, it's hot. We show a lot of skin, and it's like just like a perfect time to just like have your whole face. There's like
Yeah,
so many TikToks like this that
I think
I've
I've
like
heard of that.
seen.
I heard of that
Yeah,
from an
my
actual guy
hot
in real
girl face,
life.
exactly. No, exactly. Like let's say 2 years ago, I think, or like last year, like by March or something, or like April, like the people on TikTok are just like, oh, it's time to start my hot girl like training or something like that. So like they're preparing themselves to have like a whole face during the summer. And I feel like because like people, but like with OnlyFans creator also, they're just so open to these kind of stuff. There's also like a lot of podcasts with people like interviewing porn stars, or like even porn stars having their own podcast, and they talk about their sex life, which I think like I guess it encourages other people to like open up the relationship, or just
Which is not a
like
good
just
thing.
like
Like, listen to any scholar, any person who has any sort of credibility when it comes to human studies and just generally the way we are as humans, and you'll quickly see a pattern between all of them agreeing that on the fact that like the fact that we are so like open in our society about our about like the sexual side of like our of people. Like where it's too open to the point where it's actually bad for people. It's just downright fucking bad for you. Because again, like I go back to what I said earlier, it needs to have some degree of privacy, and it's something that it it just makes everyone kind of lose appreciation for, I don't know how to phrase this properly.
appreciate
You
sex.
lose the intimacy of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
It
sense.
just
Yeah.
becomes just like, oh, like whoring around just becomes something normal. I heard quite a few guys are like, oh yeah, I only have a girlfriend during winter, and then by the time summer comes around, I break up with her because I go pick up some other bitches for summer, and then by the end of summer he gets another girlfriend so he can stay with
Honestly,
her for like 8 months and then break her heart and just move on. We are
no,
not in a fucking a society that doesn't have a hierarchy. We're not in a society that doesn't have like we're not with no intelligence. We should be able to realize the impact we have on others. You know, like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't care. I'm never gonna see this person ever again in my life. I mean, sure, but like the 6 degrees of freedom, or what is it called again? Like within six, like um, um, look it up. It's a mathematical thing. So
Of course,
if
math
you
again.
what, you got a problem with it? It like within the circle of people I know, okay.
Oh, wait,
If I
before
ask,
you get before you get into that, this guy uses math for fucking everything.
it's a good fucking way to do it
Oh
though.
my
It's
god.
it's logic. It's based in reality. It's it's
I
literally
know,
stitched
but
into the
like,
fabric of existence. So
okay,
leave
but
my
like
math alone.
you literally use math for your ethics class. I mean, like at some point.
By the way, I had an ethics class and I passed the final essay using math. That's right, you heard me right. I passed an ethics, like just like an actual writing essay using math. If y'all are jealous, I know you are. Nobody's gonna get on this level.
But yes, you can continue now. I just want to get it out of there. This goddamn nerd over here uses math for
Yeah,
goddamn
fuck you.
everything.
Like, listen, math is good. Like anybody who tells you you're a nerd, insults you for it, yeah, they're losers. They don't know what they're talking about because they don't know how fucking awesome
Uh,
sciences and maths are. So just, yeah, don't listen to them. If there's by any chance a 12-year-old listening to this, like even through all the cursing and shit, um, yeah, don't listen to what they tell you. So, um, yeah, as I was saying previously, wait, what was I saying previously?
6 degree of freedom.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm pretty sure it's not called 6 degree of freedom. It's like within 6 times, pretty much. So
Yeah.
like you take one person in the world, you go within their social circle, someone they have at least as an acquaintance. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you pick that
Yeah.
person, and then another acquaintance that they have within their social circle, and then another acquaintance from that acquaintance, and blah blah blah. And within 6 repetitions of this, so like by the sixth person you reach through this method, you'll actually be able to reach like the entire Earth's population, which is absolutely crazy. So
Mm,
if you ever think to yourself, "Oh, I'll never see this person ever again in my life," just think about that for a little. Um, like the world might seem very big, but it's also quite small. And a lot of us spend a lot of our entire life interacting with a rather small group of people to begin with. So yeah, we need we have intelligence. We're supposed to be able to use it in order to make good decisions in our lives. And like just being a piece of shit to others for your own pleasure or just for the sake of being a piece of shit, I don't condone that. I feel like that's just it's immoral, honestly. It's downright stupid. Like you shouldn't. God, sometimes I feel like I need to be. Okay, I'm not gonna not gonna say what I usually say. I I would like to conduct an experiment in which I test out everyone for being a piece of shit or not, for being half witted or not at all. And then based on that experiment, I shall filter out the population, shall I say, um, through a series of actions that I shall not disclose of.
So what he means to say is, he's gonna
Shush.
be the next.
He's gonna be the next Hitler. It's like Hitler for idiots.
Uh, but yeah, I was supposed to say, yeah, I feel like with like TikTok also being such a big platform and people, sharing stuff, uh, it's just not good for, I guess, like this generation and the next generation, like dating life. I feel like
I absolutely agree.
I feel like they keep coming up with like new stuff. Like we had like the hot girl, like summer thing, whatever. It's called.
It's not even about that. Like,
I
do
know,
you
no, but
realize?
but like wait, they literally create like new words for stuff like that. Like, have you ever heard of, like sneaky link?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And then they just like got names for like all these new type of like relationship. I feel like there's like sneaky link. You have friends with benefits. You have a thing called like a situationship, like whatever that is. You have obviously open relationship, and then you have like all these kind of how do I even call this?
Uh, fuckery. On orgy on Snapchat.
Yeah, honestly, because it's not even like a relationship because you know it's whatever this is
I mean,
has to
technically,
stop.
everything is a relationship, you know, because like just being able
Like,
to interact with somebody, you build a
okay, I
rapport
know,
with
but
them.
I'm talking about relationship really, like as in
They're not partners. Is what you're
yeah,
trying to say
exactly.
for me, right?
Like the whole like and you know obviously people sharing their like one night stand or like hookup stories and it gets like millions of like views on it and likes. And then you know like I've read so many story like that where the like usually it's girls, a lot of girls actually see stories like this and they're like, oh, you know, because everyone is doing it, why I should try it also, you know. Because, you know, let's say like, oh, my friends are doing it and I'm the only one who's not doing it, or like other people are doing it and I'm not doing
Right.
it. I kind of feel
The
like left
peer
out.
pressure. To add to your point, it's not even just about relationships and stuff like that anymore. Anyway, right? Like the Tide Pod challenge at some point. I'm sorry.
Oh my
Like there
God.
has been so many dumb, stupid, the downright retarded. Excuse me. Um, downright mentally disabled. Like just they're just so dumb. Like these challenges just my god. They- Kids watch this shit and they actually take it for real and then they
Yeah,
go and do it. And the worst part about all this, if only it was children, so you can, just monitor your child, hopefully, and be a decent parent and not allow them to get influenced by
oh
dumb
my
shit
God.
like this.
Don't even
It's even
get me
adults.
started on
Adults do this
parenting.
shit. I cannot believe my eyes when I see adults literally trying to do this dumb shit. I saw like a grown couple, like literally adult couple, right? Believe it or not, these idiots saw the internet like had a trend of locking yourself inside a store.
Hmm.
Like at some point there was like, oh, you can
Yeah,
lock
yeah, I
yourself inside a
remember.
store and for
Like for like
24 hours.
yeah, exactly,
These
like a
idiots
challenge.
went inside and stayed like they literally violated the law just to fucking do a TikTok or like a stupid challenge on social media and obviously got arrested for it, which they obviously deserved. They're just idiots. Like a lot of these challenges not only are fake, they're plain stupid. They just ruin people. They ruin it. It's beyond me. Honestly, just wow. Like every time I think about this, it just hurts my brain. Just not even about just relationships and people being too open about things they shouldn't necessarily be open about. It's about everything. Like they get influenced by this, like the smallest like blow of air on in their direction just fucking takes them. You know, yeah, it's um.
Oh, exactly. Oh, I just feel uh, like teenagers and kids nowadays just want to grow up so fast. Like I've seen stories of like, oh, like they're like those like they're teenagers and they're panicking. They're like, oh, I'm 16 and I haven't had my kiss yet. Oh, like I'm nervous, yada yada. Like, oh, everyone already lost their virginity and I didn't yet. And then they start going on to this like experiment, like experimenting like phase. And then after that, later on, they regret it. There's a lot of stories like that. They're like, oh, I regret doing this because now I cannot even feel like intimate anymore because for them sex is just like sex. It's just like, a game, and they cannot like form like actual like connection with like people
It's
because
very
they
dangerous. We are social animals, so it's extremely dangerous not being able to make rapport with others.
yeah, I feel like because they go through so many people also. Like the type of
Pokemon,
people.
gotta collect them all or catch them all.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's so many stories of like, oh, you've been talking to this person for months, go on a date, you fuck, and after that they just ghost you. Like, why? First of all, second, it's just I don't know. It kind of like ruins like people like spirit, Like now they're kind of like scared to get attached. They have trust issues, commitment issues.
Yeah. And it's downright just stupid. It's a waste of time of everyone. You're wasting months on end speaking to this one person just so you can get laid once and then you just dip. It's just so dumb to me. Like, why would you even commit that much amount of time to just the dumbest possible thing? You get nothing out of it. Like, okay, oh, I got laid. Okay, but that's nothing. Like, okay,
Now
you
what?
think that's
Like,
like exactly now what? Now what? Like, okay, good for you. Like, what has that done for you? You wasted months just for this? Was that really worth it? And some idiots will go ahead and be like, "Oh yeah, hella worth it," But like, I mean, they're idiots for a reason. They probably have like 70 IQ. Fucking chimps are smarter than these fuckers. But like you gotta have like as like teenagers and everything. Honestly, I feel like we need a better education in terms of our priority, like making our priorities. They should have an actual curriculum in school since they bother if they bother to go to school at all to
I don't
teach
know. I
you
feel like it's
about
just
the importance of prioritizing things in your
I don't
life.
know. No, I feel like they just maybe need better like sex ed, honestly. Like
Mm,
they keep saying like, oh, use condom, use that, plan B, STDs. But they never really prepare you for it. They should have said like, oh, like I don't know, sex is a pretty big thing, and it's preferably not to do it before 18. Like goddamn kids this day, like holy shit. And also like, how to navigate it and how to, I guess, like
no, I feel like they're like nowadays the education part of it is really just a prevention more than and you're right. If they include at least a warning within the prevention method, it might have better results.
honestly. But then again,
Disclaimer:
so I'm like,
it's not that good.
yeah, again, I'm not like blaming the schools. The parents, neither, not really. It's just really like,
The system. Let's blame the system, whatever the fuck that is.
not really, because at the end of the day, it's like, it's on them, right? Like,
Yeah, it's on everyone.
it's not because you say, like, oh no, you're gonna have sex until you're 18. They will find a way. They're kids, they're brats. They will always find a way. Just like how when we're younger, also, we always find a way, even though our parents said no.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's just about, you know, really. Yeah, honestly, it's about how they're raised. Because a lot of people find, like it's always boils down to your own personal decision at the end, right? Like you always have a choice: do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. You always get that choice at the end, and you need to make that choice. But we also need the right influence, right? Like we need to have people around us that guide us the right way, and that don't don't like when I mean guidance, I don't mean people just telling you what to do. I mean people who share their experiences with you and genuinely explain to you like why what they recommending to you is a good idea versus why what you're trying to do is a bad idea. Like if they share their
Hmm.
experience with you and they take the time to explain it to you, like for example, like you tell a child, don't touch fire, you know, it's gonna fucking touch fire.
They will.
Stupid. Like
They will.
exactly, they will definitely try and touch it. Like why don't you want me to touch it? That's literally part of our human nature, right? Like you read anything at all about humans is we're curious as hell, and if you force us to not do something, we'll always try to do it just out of curiosity. You know, it's like the little devil inside just trying to push you to do the things you're told not to. But if you took the time to explain to them that you touch that, you will get hurt. You know, I mean, sure, they can still do it and not listen to you, but then they'll understand that, oh, listen, this guy is actually giving me, like, he's telling me what's gonna happen. Like they're actually sharing their experience with them. Oh, I touched this before and it actually hurt a lot. I wouldn't recommend it for you at all. Like it's not, it doesn't seem fun. You can try it, sure, go for it. But then at least they'll have some sort of guidance, I guess. Like, oh, you know what? I listened to this guy. He told me not to do this last time, and he was right. And he's done that consistently. If he tells me not to do this, it's probably for a good reason, and he's already explained to me why. So I should definitely listen to him. If parents approached it that way, I feel like it would definitely help with a lot of this stuff. But a lot of people don't seem to take the time to explain that kind of stuff to anyone. They just, yeah, no, don't do it. Like I can get it if you're tired, but if you want to improve society just a little bit, take the time to explain to others why you don't want them to do something, or why you want them to do something. Just explaining yourself can go a long way into making others understand you better. It's a simple trick in communication that you need to go through, because as if you don't go through that like simple trouble, you will end up in a lot more trouble. So our communication, whether it's in parenting, whether it's in schools, education, like whatever it is, like I feel like communication is not stressed enough. We're taught reading, writing, oral communication, but like we're not really taught oral communication, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, you can say the words, but do you really know how to communicate your ideas properly? Not really. Like a lot of what we do in school, for example, is just spit out what the fuck has been said. Tell me what this writer thinks about his own book. Tell me what I think about this book that I've explained the entire semester. It's not like, okay, tell me what you think and explain it. A lot of the time, that I don't think that's what that is, at least from my experience. So maybe that would be pretty helpful.
But yeah, we're supposed to talk about open relationship. We went on like a
Yeah, no, like we
huge
keep drifting from shit. We went towards why it's a shit, like
yeah.
or why it happens, I guess. And we kind of went completely overboard with that. But yeah, continue on what you were saying about why you're not really into that.
But yes, because first of all, I am a really jealous person. And
Yeah,
no,
that's the main
once
reason.
again, it's not because I'm insecure. I trust my boyfriend. And I trust him not to goddamn like go on and just fool around with other girls.
I feel like this like the comedian was like, "Oh, thank you so much for respecting the basic terms
Yeah.
of our agreement." Yeah, could you please go like delve into that?
With the basic term of agreement.
Yeah, exactly. Can you delve into like what she means by that and how that relates to this?
No, she just mean like basic stuff like, oh, don't cheat on me, don't flirt with other girls, Like at the end of the day, like respect your girlfriends, guys. Respect your girlfriends.
Oh yes, thank you. Such wisdom, such wisdom at such a young
Do
age.
you know how hard it is for dudes to do that sometimes? My God, like
It's pretty
I
hard.
feel like
I know from
nowadays,
experience.
like the bare minimum is just my God, it's so low. Like I sort of God, I am saying this like respect your girlfriend, and some guy will be like, huh? What do you
We're
mean by
supposed to
that?
respect them.
Yeah, exactly.
like
It's like so,
these
it's
bitches deserve
so
respect.
that ass. Plus, with like the whole NG thing, I feel like that would be like a whole other
Fucking
episode.
exponentially, like it made it so much worse.
No, exactly. But with like that will be another episode. But with this new thing, I feel like respect not even respect your girlfriend, respect people in general.
Yeah,
It's so hard for people to do that for some reason.
like
But
whenever we say respect, don't mean like okay bow down to them and shit like that, but like have like a decency, just be a decent person. And if you don't know somebody, you've never like just have like a base level respect. Like you can have this as levels. That's the way I do it personally. Have a base level respect. You meet someone, have a basic level of respect. You don't know anything about them, they don't know anything about you, but you respect the fact that they're humans just like yourself. They have their own values and everything. You can respect that. you know if you get to know them better, and you have something that earns your respect, then yes, maybe you should respect them more. Like, oh my god, this person is such a hard worker. I personally respect that. I respect someone who works hard because it shows their dedication to something, so they earn my respect. In the same token, if I talk to someone and they're just a shitty person overall, they lose respect. But to begin with, you should have a certain level of respect for everyone that is just kind of like universal. That's neutral. Because if you don't have that, you're the piece of shit who's gonna start, like everyone is gonna start losing respect for you because you're acting like a piece of shit.
yeah, what I was saying, respect your girlfriend. It's uh, just have the decency, right? To just, yeah, obviously, I'm not saying not talk to other girls. Fine, you can talk to other girls. You can have like friends that are girls. Just, maybe don't flirt with them. Or when they
Maybe
flirt,
the
yeah,
hesitance.
just
Maybe.
just advice, Maybe don't do that. You want to keep your girlfriend, or like when other girls flirt with you, right? Like set boundaries. Like, oh, hey, I have a girlfriend. What you're doing is not cool, and I'm not okay with that. You know.
What if the guy is cool with that though?
Then to the trash he fucking goes.
He belongs to the streets. Yeah.
Honestly, I
I don't think it's just like the towards the girlfriends though. It's just generally speaking, if you're in a relationship, you're like, whenever you initiate a relationship, right? Like this whole open relationship thing. Whenever you initiate a relationship, you have to set a contract. It's a social contract technically. No, it is. No, think of it logically. It's a social contract, right? Like I provide
I
things
know.
for you, you provide things for me. You know, but we're in a contract with a set of rules. That's why there is marriage, and you have to sign a contract technically in order to make sure that both parties respect their commitments. Because if everyone just does whatever the fuck they want, it's not civilization. Anymore. It's just a fucking jungle, is it?
Yeah, but
Right?
you were, yeah, that exactly, like respect like everyone, right? But you were asking me about like the, what was it? Oh yeah,
The
like
comedian who said
the
like, oh,
comedian.
it's like space.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
what I'm saying. Like
why I
it's a
said respect.
contract, right?
Yeah.
Well, like part of like that contract is really just first of all, we're committed to each other. We're partners. You and me, we are partners. We work together. That's like the first. Like even if you haven't signed a marriage contract, that's like a contract you're signing by agreeing to be in a relationship. You should make sure with the person, like even if it's verbal at the very least, that you're agreeing on the same things and you have things cleared. Because otherwise, you will inevitably go into some shitholes. You will like it's always a shit slide every time you don't like agree on things to begin with. So whenever you're like entering in any sort of relationship, whether it's romantic, non-romantic, you have to set a contract, the social contract that's at the very least apparent to both parties or multiple parties, right? Like it's
Hmm.
just like working in a group of people. You have to set expectations, you have to set rules that nobody breaks and everyone respects. Because once you lose that contract, you lose those rules, you don't meet the expectations, might as well just not be part of the group, because part of being in the group is to respect that contract, right? So the same thing goes with a relationship. Like you were saying, don't cheat. Be open about your thoughts about the person. Like if they do something wrong, be honest with them. Don't try to hide it. I see a lot of people like, oh my god, I'm no longer attracted to my partner, and I don't know how to tell them, like, oh, they're not really good in bed. I don't know how to tell them, or they're not this or that, not that. The whole point of your like being in a relationship or being a partner is being able to communicate with each other clearly and being able to deliver your thoughts to each other. So if you're able to communicate the fact, hey, listen, I don't like when you do this, or I like it when you do this, you kind of reinforce the good things and kind of break down the bad things. You don't need to be mean about it. You just need to approach it in a, like, polite way that doesn't necessarily hurt their feelings, but just sometimes you cannot avoid hurting others' feelings, right? But you should approach it in the most polite way possible, strictly based off of the level of respect that you owe them at the very least, right? So you should communicate with them clearly on what it is exactly that you're setting as expectations. Expectations, like I said, for example, like you said, for example, actually, don't cheat, don't flirt with other people, don't, I don't know, just don't be a piece of shit to me, you know. Those are all kind
Mm.
of like expectations that you set, rules. You tell me how you feel whenever you're not feeling good, blah blah blah, this that, and based on that social contract that you're building, again, even if it's merely verbal, right? You have to at least agree on things. That will make things run much smoothly, and you wouldn't feel bad. You wouldn't feel like you're being a piece of shit for making a certain decision. You wouldn't necessarily feel like, like the guilt of hurting someone else's feelings if you respectfully, you know, set all those things to begin with. I feel like people skip that part a lot. They just jump directly into it. Like I see a lot of people here like, oh, first night, like they just go, they just go at it in bed already. Next thing you know, I'll meet my parents within like the first week or some shit. Like, just
Yeah,
build up to these
because
things.
it's just, I feel like it's just a new culture, I guess, or maybe just
Exactly. They're
just
skipping
they
a
just
very
want
important parts.
basically they just want to move fast. That's it. And then like within like what 3 months of dating, they live with each other, and they don't know each other that well. And while they're living together, only after like meeting, like only after dating for 3 months, this is where all like the red flags, I guess,
Yeah,
like
start to
comes
build
up.
up.
Exactly. And now, oh shit, but I'm stuck with this person now because we're like renting this apartment. I can just not leave because we signed a contract for the fucking apartment. And
They
now my
just put
partner
themselves
is
in
like,
shitholes.
exactly. And now my partner is getting on my nerve and we fight everything. I don't know, I feel like people just take things slow, honestly. There's like nothing. I don't see why you're like rushing for. But
Yeah.
anyways, not my problem.
No, honestly, it's, again, this podcast is probably just our opinions of the world. Feel free to listen to some of our advice if you think it has any credibility at all. We're trying to share good advice if we can, to the best of our ability. We're not old heads that have a shit ton of life experience that
Exactly.
is
We are
completely
young.
flawless or something. We're still young and we're still learning, but we still want to share some advice that we think is worthwhile. So if you're willing to listen, that's great. That's really what we started this podcast about. It's not necessarily just ranting. Uh, so yeah.
Yes. My second reason why I'm not keen about open relationship is just I feel like they're just this disrespectful to like the other person.
In which way?
I don't understand why you will go with another like person and I don't know. I feel like for me, sex is really like, intimate, something that you should only do with the person that you want to spend your whole life with, like for a long term at least. I don't know. I feel like just going out there and like experimenting with other people that are not the person you want to spend your life with. I don't know. For me, I feel like kind of disrespectful.
I think I see what you mean by disrespectful. It's almost like, you cannot deliver these needs or you
Yeah,
can't deliver these
exactly.
goods, so I
So
have
that's
to get
why
it
I'm
from
like
somewhere
going out.
else.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
instead of taking the time to explore these possibilities with your partner and be able to take the time to, you know, do so in the future, hopefully, take the time to actually know the person, like them, live with them, and, eventually develop these experiences with them, you're just choosing to skip all that, be like, you know what, yeah, I don't be able to do it with you, so yeah, yeah, screw you. I'm just gonna go with this other person real quick, just experiment it. And then at the end of the day, like I see a lot of dumb bitches. They're just like, oh, I slept with 100 guys, and now I can't get a boyfriend. Gee, I wonder why. Like, who the fuck wants to be with a fucking cum dumpster? Like, nobody in the whole goddamn universe. The same thing with guys, by the way. I'm not just trashing girls. Like, if you're a dude and you're out here just like, get like, oh,
Honestly,
I'm
it's
sleeping
an
with this
like
woman and this woman and that woman, and now, oh, I'm having a bit of trouble. I have commitment issues. I can't really find a girl that I like enough. That sounds like a you problem. You brought this on yourself. Like, nobody wants to be with someone who is who puts so little worth on their own personal body. Like they put. There we go. Like, these people don't even respect their own body. I put it that way.
I
Like,
don't know. I feel like it's not about like respecting your own body. For me, it's more like, do you not even respect the other people that are more like how do I say?
there are more.
Wait, let me rephrase it. Okay, and also for the people that are listening to this, he's not sexist because I also think that. Maybe if I say it for my own gender, I guess it would be taken better.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, I'm not gonna go as far as calling them cum dumpsters.
Well, I mean, they are cum
But
dumpsters technically, and the guys are fucking cum shafts or some shit. I don't know, like whatever the fuck the
but
equivalent is.
but yeah, it's not like you don't have like respect for yourself. I feel like it's more like respect for like others also. You're basically, you're wasting others people's time also by doing this. Like again, the whole like, oh, talking stage, like which lasts for months, and then after that fucking and then ghosting. It's just a lot of waste time. It's just, I feel like it's really useless. And again, this is for both fucking genders. No girls also want guys that have just been going around, fucking around. Same thing with girls. I feel like, I don't know. It's just people like that. I feel like I just don't really like trust them to be in a committed relationship. Like, who
Yeah,
says
exactly.
I'm
Like
not
they
just
fucked up
gonna
so many
be like
times. It's kind of hard to trust them. It's kind of like the like the little boy who keeps yelling "Wolf, Wolf," and there's no wolf, and then at some point, like the villagers just trusting him. Like, people's
mm,
trust are limited. Like can only forgive you so many times. So, like, you should take that into consideration, and you want to be able to project a good image of yourself if you want to get things for yourself in life.
no, it's not that. It's just like, who says I'm not? I am like, who says I'm not just gonna be like one of your hookups again? Like, how am
Exactly.
I supposed to know that you actually want this relationship, or you just want to like fuck around again?
Yeah, because like you do the exact same steps, right? You just talking stage, you start seeing each other, and then you have sex, and then oh, now he's just ghosting you. Or she's just gone now. They don't like you anymore. Oh, you no longer fit their standards or some shit like that out of complete nowhere. It's
Mm,
it's hella stupid. But I mean, you have anything else to add on that point, or you want me to?
yeah, yeah. I was about to say like yeah, respecting like you said, like you're not respecting yourself. That point, I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, it's your body. You do whatever you want, right? You're the one that dictates how you want to respect yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
And if that's how people want
No, but that's the thing.
to.
I'm saying you're putting a low price on your body, really. Like, yeah, if like every second person you meet can just,
Yeah,
fucking ride you or whatever,
no, no, I feel
I'm
like
pretty sure you're putting a really low price on your body.
no, I feel like we I don't know, I feel like we don't have a price on our body. It's just like at the end of the day, it's just a body. It's just like a fucking casket for quote unquote your soul.
We're not
Because
believers, by the way.
yeah, we're not believers. That's
By
why
the
I
way,
say quote
anybody
unquote.
who thinks, someone who you want to spend your life with, my God, these people must be religious. No, not practically atheists.
No, not practically. We are atheists.
Okay, no, like personally, agnostic, right? So I don't I don't really subscribe to anything specifically because I believe that anything can be proven. Mm, Yeah, but it's a subscription. You're subscribing to religion or so that's a way you can say that. Anywho, so I don't
It's like
personally
you're saying
subscribe
like,
to
oh
anything.
yeah, I'm subscribing to Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. I don't subscribe to Jesus personally. Like, fucking,
Uh,
you know. But I still respect still respect a lot of the values that religions bring to the table. A
yeah,
lot of beliefs
exactly.
have their own standards that I absolutely respect. But the thing is, I'm personally an atheist, like an agnostic. You can technically say atheist, but because I don't really necessarily believe in the existence of God. But I still also believe that it's not um, completely impossible to prove the existence of God. Maybe someone one day will do it, and then I'll be proven wrong as an atheist. So I'd rather just stick with agnostic. Um, but yeah, aside from that, like I see what you're saying. Like your body is just a casket technically, but hmm, I don't know. I th-
No,
I
I
think
mean like I
it's
mean
kind
like
of like
I,
it's a holy temple for me. Like
no,
personally,
no,
just
not the
being.
holy temple again.
Of course it is. Yeah, just listen. Every bodybuilder knows this shit.
Okay, but see, a lot of people go to the temple. So for one person. But yeah,
Mm,
what was I about to say? I don't know. For me, respecting your body is just like as long as you take care of it. It's healthy. You feed it
exactly.
with
Like
good food and
that's
not junk
okay. Do
food.
you want to get STDs? That's not healthy, is it? That's what I'm saying.
No,
It's
I mean
it's a
like okay,
temple.
I'm saying
You need to treat it the best way possible.
okay.
You need
I
to.
mean like okay, as long okay, you can fuck anyone you want as long as you're responsible, right?
Okay, fine.
I will say that you respect your body and yourself. But like if you go around,
Yourself, not so much. I mean,
okay,
you're willing to waste so much time to
okay, fair
like.
enough.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, you're not valuing yourself enough because you're willing to waste so
No,
much
it's
time
more like
thrown at
valuing your
the very
time.
random
Okay,
people every corner. That's really what I'm getting at. It's not necessarily just the body.
it's not really like valuing yourself, more like valuing your time.
I mean,
But
yourself is time, really,
I
right?
guess, but yeah, I was supposed to say,
Mhm.
like, as long as you do it safely, I'm not gonna judge you. But if you
I
go
will.
around and just
I will
fucking,
absolutely judge you. She
yeah,
won't, but I will. If you listen to this, she won't. I will. I absolutely will judge you. I'm judging you so hard right now. As you're listening, my voice is judging you. I am judging you with my eyesight, even though I can't see you.
but yes, as long as you do it safely, I don't know, I
To
don't
the
really care.
eyes
But
of
if you're
that
like,
lemon on the screen, I am judging you.
ah yes, the lemon that have no thoughts behind the eyes.
Its thought is it's judging you. That's the thought behind it. Anyone wondering what the lemon thinks? The lemon is judging you. So tread carefully.
But yeah, so yeah, that was my second point. Was it like I don't know, you're just being disrespectful in my opinion. Like if you love that person so much, why would you like, go around and find other people to like experiment with? I will never get that honestly.
Oh, yeah, some people are probably going to bring up the argument. What if they can't deliver one of the things you want? Well, what would be your answer to that?
Like what if like other people
No, no, like that your partner
deliver?
can't deliver something that you want.
cannot deliver it?
Yeah.
Man up. Dude. Like I don't know. I feel like everyone has their own preferences, and I feel like you should respect their preferences. You can suggest it, and like maybe the way you word it, maybe, or like the way you do it, or the way you initiate whatever kink you have.
I'm into
I feel like
trees. You into trees?
yeah,
I like trees.
I feel like it goes both ways, honestly. Like if she doesn't want to do it, or like why not she? If the person doesn't want to do it,
We'll get into the whole pronouns thing in another one. That would keep me here for ages. But anyway, go ahead.
how, but yeah, well, if the person says no, obviously respect their wishes. But if for the other like perspective, if your partner really likes it, yeah, I don't see what's wrong in like trying it a little bit, like just like dip your toe in the pool.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
Um,
Like sometimes it is about a bit of sacrifice. Not like sacrifice everything like it's
yeah,
fucking.
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, you need to sacrifice a little bit in order to try out things with your partner. And again, if you communicate with them properly, there shouldn't be anything that's
Mhm.
absolutely out of reach. You know, like
Yeah.
I genuinely cannot think of an example that is completely out of someone's reach, so far out of their
Necrophilia.
reach. You got me. But do you really need a third person? You can just buy like I don't know, like a body pillow
Um,
or some shit like.
but but yeah, just to add, like, what do you want to try so bad that you need to find another person?
Okay, imagine this. I want to try anal, but you don't like it. We can
So,
try it once or something, but you say you really, really hate it. But I really,
mhm.
really like it, just like that guy who has like crippling need for anal.
But what I'm saying is like you're not gonna die if you don't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. This the part where I would go like, okay, so this example would be a valid example, I guess, on something that your partner might not be able to deliver. You won't really die from it. Sure, maybe you're not super satisfied, but you can try to talk with your partner to see, okay, what else can there be? I'm sure a lot of people will be like, oh, there you go. So you wanted to open a relationship yourself. No, like I'm not saying open relationship. I mean, you want to try that? Fuck it, do it. I mean, it's your fucking life, right? But don't then complain about the results of a failed relationship because you decided to take it the dumb way. You know.
Exactly.
Um, you can just try something different. I don't know, make a fucking fleshlight that
No, I feel like
but
I
for
feel
for
like not.
ass or some shit. I don't fucking
Hmm.
know. Do something that doesn't necessarily require destroying your whole goddamn relationship that you've been building for the whole time. Or maybe try to find a partner to begin with that is into that kind of stuff if you really fucking want
Okay,
it. I have such a
also
crippling need for
also this.
anal. I will make sure that I will communicate it with my partner the second
No,
I meet with
actually,
them.
also that thing. Oh my god, I've seen so many like relationship like this. Like they're too deep into the relationship now, and
Mhm.
then they discover like, oh, actually we're not compatible. Like for the love of God, please just discuss things with your partner like before it gets like serious. But then again, okay, I don't just like flat out say, oh yeah, I'm into like BDSM on the first date, obviously.
Yeah, like build up to it. You get to know the person at some point when you're in a comfortable level before you get into the whole sex thing. Just ask them, be like, hey, just out of curiosity, I know this is weird and everything, but I thought this is an important thing to talk about just to get an idea of what it is you're into, and you can maybe approach them in that way. And I feel like that's kind of a reasonable way to approach somebody in that regard because as weird
Yeah.
as it is, it's way better than, committing to a fucking 15-year long relationship in which you're unsatisfied because oh, you never took the time to really, you know, talk to each other about this. I feel like
Honestly.
an hour of awkwardness, which saves you years, is pretty worth it if you ask me. In worst case scenario,
Honestly.
they say, I'm really not into that, and you're like, I'm sorry, but I have a crippling need for anal, so I will need to move on and find someone else who has a crippling need
No,
for it as
honestly
well.
though. Like as like we get it, right? Like sex talk is awkward. But just like not even an yeah, fine, only an hour. Like an hour. Just for one day, you guys just you know just listen all everything.
Yeah, no, take the time
And
to like actually talk about like how we were complaining earlier about oh it's too open in our society. We still absolutely on that point. We still think that because again we're talking on society wide. But if you're talking about it with your partner or someone that you're trying to make into your partner in a private conversation between you and them, and not like the whole fucking goddamn population knows about, then it's still technically private, and you should be able to do that in a private manner that will allow both of you to get a good idea of what to expect. This goes back to the contracting I was talking about. You have to set certain expectations and what they should expect from you, what you should expect from them, what kind of roles you all are going to respect. You know, those are very, very important things that you need to settle before you commit yourself. Because I mean, think about it. Why do you
Mhm.
think in the corporate world or like anywhere that's actually smart and incorporates tactics and strategies, they take the time to make contracts before they initiate anything. Before you get a job, you have to sign a contract, right? Before you do anything, before you buy a house, you have to get a contract. All that kind of stuff is because like strategically speaking, it's way better to make sure that you agree on everything, right? But- Or okay, you don't necessarily need to agree on everything. You just need to agree on the contract itself and what it stipulates, right? Sure, you might disagree on politics, but if that's not something that is important in your daily life, unless you're a fucking politician or some shit, like your wife is fucking conservative, you're liberal, and just out here fighting each other. So unless it's something stipulated in the contract that is of extreme importance to you, then you don't necessarily need to agree on it. But everything stipulated in that contract, you should be able to agree on if you want to be able to move on to the next step, which is again, strategically speaking, a superior strategy, right? It's simply a superior strategy. If you refuse to believe that, that sounds like a you problem.
Hmm. For everyone that keeps saying, "Oh, I'd rather just go with the flow," big mistake. Do not do that. I did that. It's not good. Really, really bad. Never, when it comes to a relationship, never, never go with the flow.
The
But
flow
like,
will fucking slap
ah,
you all around the walls. Studying fluid
honestly,
mechanics will teach you a lot about depending on the Reynolds number, you can just slap around so much.
and never, never let your future self take care of it because you're like, oh, it's fine. Let's do it another time. If you have time, just do it now. Just like the goddamn talk about your weird kinks. Just do it now.
Yeah,
Not on the
exactly. Because
first date. When you guys are both comfortable, just get it out of the way before it's too late to back out.
exactly, you don't want to end up in a place where you're both emotionally attached to each other but also hate each other in bed, something like that.
Yeah, honestly, there's so many stories like that also. It's like, oh, he's a great boyfriend or she's a great girlfriend, but they're bad in bed.
Okay, well, the bad in bed part, maybe they just skill wise is a skill issue. We're talking like this. It is a skill issue. But anyway,
Fair enough, yeah.
yeah, like maybe just oh, they're a great boyfriend, they're a great girlfriend, but you know, they don't like what I like. That's the problem we're talking about more than they suck in bed. If they suck in bed, just gently approach them about the subject because it can be very sensitive for some. So gently
Mhm.
approach them about the subject, about how they suggest how they might potentially suck a little too much at something, and don't just plain out insult them, tell them you suck big dick, you know, just gently nudge them towards the direction you want them to go by giving them tips and hints. Sure, some people might
Mm,
not pick up on it very easily because let's just say they're not very high IQ. they're just they're a little stupid or something, or very slow.
and
So
yeah,
just make sure to take it slow, you know, and explain it to them, and make sure that you like whenever you commit to explaining something to them, explain it to them. It can be hard, it can take a while, but I believe that everyone who is a reasonable person and not a complete piece of shit is willing to do a bit of effort to satisfy their partner.
and also don't be like shy. I've seen a lot of people like that. They're like too shy to say like what they like. Like I'm sorry, the person saw you got them naked.
What are you shy
At
about?
this, yeah, exactly. At this point, just just say it. Like it's not gonna like change how he sees you or how she sees you. Like
Yeah, exactly.
they saw everything.
Like they saw you butt naked.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nothing else.
They saw your
Just
naked ass. They saw your naked asshole. They saw your
they saw,
hairy asshole.
they
Like
saw your hairy nipples.
honestly, like at that point, just they saw everything. Like every flaws you think you have, they saw it, and they probably didn't even like mind it, or they didn't even realize it was an insecurity of yours. Just do it, do it, just say it. But yes,
Anywho,
was that my second reason? Yes.
that was the third reason I think.
Wait, what was my third reason?
What?
What was my third reason?
I have no clue. I think I lost count.
No, I
The
think I
second the
think
second reason was you're not respecting others. So I'm pretty sure this is the third reason. It has
okay,
nothing to
but
do
why
with
are we
respect.
talking about this though? No,
What
I
are we
don't think
talking
this is
about
third.
anyway?
I think we're just going on a tangent again. But anyways, my third reason, maybe third,
Fucking
fourth,
13
I
reasons
lost
why.
count. My third reason, I feel like it's just not for me, honestly. I cannot do hookups. I cannot just go out there
When
and pick out
when you're so
a guy.
introverted,
Yeah,
you
honestly,
cannot
I.
even talk to a cashier sometimes. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
pretty sure. Exactly.
they don't need to know that. But yes, it's just no. I have a crippling anxiety. It's
Crippling.
just,
Sorry.
it's just- okay. Let's say I didn't have anxiety. Let's say I don't. I don't think I can just go to a club or bar and just pick out a guy and like hey, you want to come back to my place? It just doesn't work. I feel like first of all, it's just I don't know. I'm too nervous for that. It's too stressful for me. Uh,
You'll crumble under the pressure.
no, exactly. I would just crumble. And plus, I don't know. Like for my for me personally, I need to actually get to know the person, and I need to trust the person first to God and let him in my bed. I need like some sort of like emotional connection. And also on top of that, how can you just pick out a random guy or girl? Like how can you trust them? Like
Yeah,
how do you trust
what tells
that
you
they
they're
do
not a
not?
fucking serial murderer they've just been looking attractive so they can capture some dumb fucks like you.
Honestly, I just cannot like do that. And on top of that, I cannot even look at someone in the eyes without crumbling. So it's just open relationships is not working already. Out of the window for me. Plus, I don't even like it. Like, yeah, like I also do not understand this. Like, yeah, I mean, like people are attractive, but I'm not. I don't want to fuck them. Like, I can admit, like, oh, this person is pretty or this guy's like handsome, but I will never ever want to fuck them.
Hmm.
Does are the same to you? I'm probably not. Um, that's just me. Like I'm not gonna see someone so attractive. I'll be like, oh wow, like he makes me feel like
You
horny.
look like a piece of fuckable meat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, you look so fuckable, you know? Like, oh my god, you make me so horny and that. And that. I don't know. It's just no. It's just like, yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
mean, like
attractive.
obviously it's a type of personality. Like, I guess it's a bit of your personality. You're rather more calm and introverted, which makes sense. But just generally speaking, I feel like that's still relatable for quite a few, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, I generally think that's pretty relatable. Like for me, I can relate with that too. Sure, I can like if I look around and be like, damn, this girl is really attractive. I wouldn't mind approaching her, but then again, does my crippling depression allow me to do so? Does my crippling anxiety allow me to do so? I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
it's really more about just I feel like it's absolutely weird to approach people. Like again, it goes back to like how we both feel about our society being a little too open on the sexual side. Like we don't feel comfortable approaching people when it comes to like things that are rather intimate. Like I can approach someone, just befriend them, talk to them in a general manner, get myself acquainted, maybe even potentially become friends with them. But it will take a lot of time before approach them on a personal level enough to be able to just flirt with them. Sure, I can go on Tinder and just fuck around and do a bunch of dumb jokes, but that's because I don't think I'm gonna meet those people like in my immediate surroundings. Which, by the way, complete cap, it does happen quite a lot. Happened to me a couple times. So don't don't just go on Tinder and just do whatever the fuck you want. You will eventually meet someone who will track you down just to give you shit. So yeah,
I feel like that's not attractive. Also, like, I don't know.
yeah,
Like,
just
let's
someone who
say,
approaches you out of nowhere. It's like imagine you, like right, someone just comes to you and tries to to get you to their bed. Don't wouldn't you feel creeped out a bit? Like who the fuck are you? Why are you so insistent? What like sure you might be
like
attractive, like
again,
they
this
might be
is like
attractive or something like that, but just wouldn't it just feel off? Like something is off about that social interaction for a reason. It's just
I
it
feel
doesn't
like
seem right.
again, I feel like this is just double standard. Like that's like all for like us girls. Obviously, like every dude is a creep for us. Like
Yes.
us. Like I don't know. For me personally, I don't care if you're like hot, handsome, ugly. I don't care. If you approach me and you're a guy, I do not like it. It's just I'm not even guys. Like people in general. I just no, don't talk to me. I
Again,
do
that goes
not
back to your crippling
want it.
anxiety.
But yes, again, if I didn't have crippling anxiety and a guy
And by the way, she's
approaches
joking. She
me,
doesn't actually have crippling anxiety. She's just rather introverted. Just to make sure
yeah,
that we're not misleading anyone. Does not have
yeah,
crippling anxiety. I don't have crippling anxiety. We don't have crippling depression or anything of the sort. It's really just to exaggerate the
exactly.
terms.
We're using what was it called? Hyperbole?
Is it?
Hyperbole?
I
Exactly.
have no clue. It's been a while since I last studied like the
Yeah, I know,
English
I know.
language and its and all its wonders.
Oh, yeah. Like even if I let's say I was like comfortable with like social interaction, even if like a handsome guy like approached me, it's just
Feels off.
like like he just approaches for sex. Like I just feel used. Like just like no, like get the fuck out. Like no, I don't want to be in bed with you. I don't know if that goes for guys, but like girls, like when they approach you, I feel like
I
it's
mean,
different
depends
for
how
you
horny
guys.
you are. It's a level. It's depending on how horny. If you're feeling, 50% or more, you say yes to anything. Yeah, below
Yeah.
50%, you might be a bit more hesitant. If you're at like 10%, like actually, you know what? Don't even think about 10%. Half guys don't even go below 40% horny, which is so.
I
So yeah,
I do not know how people do this open relationship, honestly. But yeah,
so do I. I think it's
that
absolutely ridiculous, especially from my. I feel like I have a rather conservative point of view when it comes to, your girlfriend. She's your girlfriend. She's not supposed. There isn't gonna be another dude that's supposed to touch her or even come near her. She can have friends, obviously. You can, all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about like anyone who comes near her in any sort of sexual way at all, like nowhere near her vicinity. Because I feel like it's just I feel like my biology does not allow me to tolerate that. You know, like imagine this: you're a caveman. You just you just impregnated a female, and now you have to protect her for 9 months before she goes into labor and births your child. Your goal as a caveman is to spread your seed, as is for all animals through evolution, right? So the best thing you do is to protect her from any outside males that might want to come and fuck up that fuck that up. So like my biology simply does not allow me to like I am physically incapable of allowing another male
I
to flirt or just come near you in any like sexual kind of way. I just it like I'm not built like that. You know, that might go to me personally, but I just like that's something that pisses me off about open relationships personally. That's also why, like I mentioned earlier, I absolutely hate cucks. It's just it infuriates me. I feel like it's just wrong. It like you're going against logic in my personal in my logic at least. And my logic just says you're fucking stupid.
mm,
So
for me, I would say for me, honestly, it's the same. Like the only different thing for me is I feel like I don't really. I do care about body count, but I don't put a huge like emphasis on it. It's like I don't know, like, yeah, you have your own past, but now you're like with me, so I don't really care what you did in the past. But also, that depends how many body count you had in the past, and in the
so the past
span.
doesn't matter. You're literally just
No, okay, but in the
contradict
span
your
of
own argument.
okay, no, it depends on in the span of like how long though. Like let's say
Three
you,
months, six bitches.
yeah, I don't know how the fuck I accepted that with you. No, because I didn't know that before, and I got with you, and then you told me that. I was like, oh, well, too late. I'm already with this fucking man of a whore,
No, no, like the opposite, like whore of a man, man of whore.
whore of a yeah.
You just called my mother a whore, you bitch.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Oh my god, I did not get enough
Actually,
sleep,
no,
but
no,
yeah,
wait. Man of a whore technically calls you a whore.
man of. Oh my god, I just did. Yeah,
Fucking self roast. Those are rare.
no, I was supposed to say like man whore.
Man
Why
of
does
a
it
whore.
man of a whore? But yes, a man whore. That's Jesus Christ. But you know what? It is what it is. You know,
It is what it is indeed.
like I don't know. Like at first when I found that out, like, it's not like I was upset with it, but I don't know. I felt uncomfortable with that number in such a small amount of time.
Yeah, let's just say I got lucky. But anywho,
And
aside from that,
also that yeah, like I said, like the thing again, like how am I supposed to know he's not gonna treat me like one of his like side bitch? But guess what? It worked out at the end, hopefully. Yes. But as I was saying, I don't really put an emphasis on body count unless it's in such a small like time period.
I
But yeah.
fucking love how this is actually the exact opposite of what happened with you. But anyway,
What
slight
do you
contrast
mean?
to your actual decision. How many
Huh?
divided by like number of body counts divided by the time span it was within, right?
Hmm.
Mine is so fucking ridiculously high for
Hi for what?
mine was ridiculously high, like this ratio,
Hmm.
and you still accepted it. You said you don't accept high ratios of body counts to
Yeah,
time
because I
span.
didn't know.
I know, I know. I'm just saying it's ironic how that turned out. But anyway,
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, it worked at the end. Hopefully it's gonna work out.
that's fine. I get you. I'm
But
not starting a podcast with a girl that I'm gonna break up with. Can you imagine how awkward that'd be?
but yeah, so far so good. We're going pretty strong, I will say.
Yes. Smooth sailing.
Yes, but as I was saying, yeah, like I don't really care if like girls see you naked. I guess like I don't really give a shit about that.
I personally want to burn the whole world down if someone else saw you naked. But anywho, moving on. What even brought us to this?
Yeah, because you said something about like, oh, you can have friends, but like, the thought of having a guy, like a
Oh
guy,
yeah, I
like,
was just talking about
yeah,
like me personally. I don't I hate that. Like might just be me having a conservative mindset, but that's something that ticks me off about open relationships. I cannot like if you think she's your wife, right? And you're in an open relationship, she's not your wife. She's everyone's wife. If that's the case, like you might be just married on paper, then whatever the fuck. It means nothing. It truly means nothing.
no. I feel like the only, and I mean only time I will say yes to open relationship is if, first of all, you can be naked. I don't care, but you need to be blindfolded. So you don't, so you don't see
How's
that
that an
bush.
open relationship? You mean like
But
a
listen,
threesome?
no, no, no. I mean like, you know, if you want to go out, right, and like fuck other girls without me being like
Okay.
jealous, I guess.
Right, so I have to be blindfolded. I cannot touch them. They
Actually,
cannot touch me.
even no, actually, fuck it. You don't even need the blindfold. You can look at them. I don't really give a shit. But like,
You cannot kiss them. You cannot
it's
touch them.
the exactly like all the thing that's supposed to be like for couple, like for me at least, is like kissing. I don't know. I feel like kissing is really intimate. Hugging also, like cuddling, snuggling, all that shit off limits.
Yeah, it makes sense, honestly.
You touching her tits and ass? Not even. No. Oh, I don't know about that one. I'm like,
Exactly. It's just a no. It just feels wrong. So it's
I mean, yeah,
completely fine.
obviously it feels wrong, but like at the end of the day, right? Like if okay, by the way, disclaimer. I don't know if I'm bi or not, by the way. But like let's say if there was a girl, obviously I would want to play with her tit and ass because it's just so jiggly and soft.
Exactly. It's
So I guess
fun.
like I'm not gonna like blame you for that. It's not like, oh yeah, you touch her tits and oh my god, I'm in love with her now. So I will let you do that, but like, oh my god, kissing, cuddling, and all that shit. No, that shit is just off limit. And that's the same
I
thing
know,
for like
but that's the
threesomes
thing though.
also.
Those things kind of come along with sex. Like just at least a
You
hug and talk.
don't need to hug her.
Kind
To
of like
fuck her.
a missionary or some
No,
shit. Like it's some of
no,
it. Like
no, you don't need to.
but my point is, it kind of comes with it. So therefore, it's completely useless for you to tell me all this information if it's just not gonna fucking happen to begin with. It's just, I feel like it's mechanically not possible sometimes to do this kind of stuff without
Exactly,
certain
that's the
types of
point.
intimacy. No, no, exactly. That's the thing. It's the point. Like even if you don't mind certain things, there are things that are intimate that would ruin the entire argument for open relationships. So again, it's just overall not a good look for open relationships. I think they're stupid.
Mm.
Not sure what
Like,
you think about them, but I'm pretty sure
yeah,
what I get from
honestly,
you is that you think too.
yeah, obviously. But like, I cannot understand people that just like they're okay with it. Like, oh yeah, my boyfriend is just like with another girl. He's kissing her. He's like, probably cuddling her, snuggling with her while they fuck. Like, how do you not? How do you think that's normal? Like, how do you think that's just like, oh yeah, he's just kissing her? Like, I do not understand it.
Oh, V,
Like, how do
I
you not
really
like associate like kissing with something being intimate and only like, oh, his lips are mine. No one, and I mean no one else, can have their lips touching his lips. I even like I will never fucking understand it.
nah, yeah, I completely agree with you. Like I kind of want to go down the route of if any of you ever took a biology class, I'm pretty sure you learned this within the first few weeks about like what is the definition of biology and how we study life. And one of the defining characteristics of life, like things like, it's able to reproduce itself, it's able to what is it, what else, what the fuck else was it? Let me just
I
look it
know a
up.
lot of them.
That's the one I usually remember because that's the one arguments in other topics. You mind looking it up, please?
Yeah, so incompetent.
I just locked my Chrome.
What's it called again? Criteria for.
Yeah, like characteristics that define life. That's how you can make the difference that a virus is not technically alive. It's really technically just a mechanism more than anything.
Right. All living things have certain traits in common:
There you go.
cellular organization, the ability to reproduce, growth and development, energy use, homeostasis, response to their environment, and the ability to adapt.
Exactly. Right? So, technically, just I'm not. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna go down this road. Actually, I just wanna like what I wanted to say is really just like the evolution side of things that says that you're supposed to technically be a bit protective of your partner because you want to maximize your chances of spreading your genes instead of someone else's, right?
Mhm.
Which is the
Mhm.
whole point of goddamn being alive, technically.
Mhm. Yep.
They're technically going against that by not really caring about their partner being with someone else because with their partner being with someone else decreases their likelihood of carrying on their genes by so much. It's ridiculous. Like it's like they're giving away their option of carrying on their genes down the line, which just goes against the basic point of being alive, really. Now we will more than likely complete argument on a different podcast on what exactly this is gonna, yeah, like on the entire like children genes shenanigan thingy. But I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover about open relationships and more, mainly about Jerry's.
Yeah, berries.
Oh my god, Jerry's. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you want to end it now?
Uh, yeah, sure. Unless you have something to add
Absolutely
on
not. I
my like
think
three reasons.
I've spelled everything. I think so far. I think I'm done. But yeah, if anyone has any thoughts or ideas you'd like to share, don't forget to share them in the comments below. If you dislike this video, also tell us why not. Leave a like. All right. Thank you for watching or listening technically. Bye.